There's one moment every year where the world's greatest builders come together to showcase their latest work. It's the Super Bowl of automotive customization and the World Cup of car shows. Because this year it seemed like Sema has just turned it up a notch. One of the wildest years, and we're here to find the baddest Chevy on this planet here in Las Vegas. Welcome back to Sema. So today we're on the hunt to find this year's top 10 Chevy builds, as well as looking at some of the latest and greatest from Real Truck, the sponsor of today's video. We also lucked out and had exclusive time to meet my childhood idol, Chip Foose. Buckle up, guys, because out of our top 10, number 1 just about broke Sema.
All right, in the quest for Baddest Chevys.
That's a good start.
That's not bad.
3.
However, either of these versus a speed bump, the outcome would not be a good thing. 71 K5 Blazer. This can handle a speed bump. This one, maybe not, but that is a gorgeous truck. Now, out of these three right here, which one are you taking home?
Blazer.
So rounding out my number 10 for the baddest Chevys at Sema is Premier Street Rod's 1971 K5 Blazer Legendary. Somehow powered by an epic LT4 supercharged 6.2-liter V8 from Chevy, not only making my top 10, but also placing in the top 10 in Battle of the Builders 4x4 class. What an epic truck. You've got to be kidding me. I just saw what's under the hood. LT4 supercharged V8.
Hey, come look under the hood.
I saw that. It's nice.
If it's stock, that's $650 coming out of there for old K5 Blazer.
You all 4 tires spinning.
Now, the question I know you're going to ask, I'm going to look over here. Does it have air conditioning? Yes, it does.
Yeah, I
it's
saw
got
that
air
movie,
conditioning.
yeah.
First thing you look for.
Over in the HP Tuners booth is Gap Industries 1971 Chevrolet Camaro nicknamed Christine. Recently coming out of a win for Good Guys Muscle Machine of the Year, an Innovators Award by Snap-on. It's powered by a Bald Eagle Screaming 416 cubic inch LS V8, tuned with HP Tuners VCM suite, putting the power to the rear wheels through a Tremec TR6060 transmission, Detroit Speed suspension, Recaro seats, Forged Line AL307 wheels, 18x10 in the front and 19x12 in the rear. One of my favorite second-gen Camaros I've ever seen.
We're out here in the HP Tuners booth, and they have 2 magnificent builds. Camaros just have a soft space in my soul. But the black paint job on this, the body work, there isn't one swirl mark in this paint. The wheel, tire combo, nice little tuck there at the top. Perfect fitment on the wheels, and look at the power plant, guys.
Number 8 on our list is from our own local Gas Monkey Garage with his 1996 OBS pickup that's technically a GMC, but due to the fact it's the same exact truck as the Chevy version, it's on our list. Running a Texas Speed LSX 434 Reaper paired with twin Hellion 6662 turbos and intercooler good for over 1600 horsepower. MagnaFlow X-Mod mufflers out the back. It has a quick performance Fab 9 rear and Ride-Tech suspension with a billet turbo 400 transmission, custom wide body, and the most jaw-dropping parts of this build, other than the asinine 15-inch wide wheels in the rear, is the one-of-a-kind glass panoramic roof. Gas Monkey killed it with this one.
My fellow primate over in Dallas, Mr. Gas Monkey himself.
Yeah, I like the fact that you make it look like a dually with wheels at the very back. So cool.
System X is a ceramic coating company, which they did a collab here with Gas Monkey Garage. So as you can imagine, this paint is to perfection and the slickest paint. But these fenders, I just can't stop looking at them. I don't know who thought of this shape. They absolutely nailed it. The fitment on the wheel and tires. Power plant is insane as well.
And then we took a quick break for some afternoon tire smoke with some of my favorite folks across the interwebs, Weston Champlin and a couple of guys that came together to create the Horsepower Rodeo. 7, I'm going to need y'all's help on. There's very little I could find out about this build, so if you have any info, please drop it in the comments below. But what we have here in front of us is a 1971 Chevrolet C30 Duramax dually crew cab. Yeah, a lot of epic things all in one truck. The perfect testosterone boosting toy while still being a family hauler that can tow just about anything.
That is so cool.
So, 1971 Chevy, but it's got 6 tires and 4 doors. This is a family car.
It is. Yeah.
Grocery getter.
Fit all the kids in the back. Who needs headrest? Because all you need is a couple of benches.
Regardless, this is a sick truck. The two-tone, the chrome accents, the wheel and tire combo, and then the square setup in the offset. I love these old trucks.
You think it's making the top 10?
Oh, I just like the fact that it's just big.
It's unique.
Yeah.
There's not another one of these here. And why is it in the back corner? This should be closer to the main show. That's epic.
Attention to detail on this thing. Rear lights, bumper. Look at the bed. Wow.
Number 6 takes us just outside of South Hall with a 1957 big window Chevy 3100 pickup from Stafford's garage named Genesis. While everyone has been taking their old Chevy hot rod inspired trucks down to the ground, they went up with this one, not only making my personal top 10 list, but also placing in the top 10 in the Battle of the Builders off-road segment. Absolute eye candy. I can imagine sounds pretty dang good too.
That's like something you get in the Hot Wheels pack. I'm liking this. Look at the tires and the wheel stands. It's just perfect. Attention to detail on this thing, the paintwork, the bodywork, coloring, everything on it. Absolutely nailed it. These guys out of Louisiana, heck of a job. I can sit here all day and look at this thing. As always, guys, you cannot miss the Real Truck booth. Walking in West Hall, here's the entrance, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Real Truck booth.
Now, as we crack into the top 5, we're back in the Real Truck booth to go see the 1986 K5 Blazer that was built in honor of building homes for heroes. But before we dive into this build, we have a special project that's going to be unveiled in partnership with Chip Foose. If you're at all interested in cars, there's no need to explain who the legend Chip Foose is. Him and his team at Foose Design brought to life this 2021 Ford F-150 decked out in parts and accessories from Real Truck. The F-150 will be auctioned off in January at Barrett-Jackson with 100% of the hammer price to benefit the Progeria Research Foundation. And somehow, after the reveal, Real Truck got me time to speak with my childhood idol one-on-one. I gotta talk to Chip Foose.
That's my high school.
How's it going, Brock? Good to meet you.
Good meet you.
I'm curious how many of those vehicles are still out on the road.
There's a good amount of them. We're not like Pimp My Ride, you know, like go on eBay and find an old one for like $400.
How you doing?
My name is Chad.
Nice to meet you, Chad.
I grew up in his living room. It's my dad, by the way. Very,
Hi, Dad.
Very similar table to this. It's a glass table, and I figured out that if I got a flashlight up underneath it, I could print out a picture of a car and then trace over the top and try to learn how to draw cars. Because as a kid, I watched every episode of Overhaul, and there was, and I would watch you draw those cars. I was like, I want to be just like Chip Foose.
Careful what you wish for.
I got a fairly okay social media presence where I get to play with GM cars, modify them, change them up, make videos and stories about them.
Do you draw?
A little bit of digital drawing, a lot of little touches and customizations. But
congratulations.
I just want to say thank you for inspiring me as a kid.
Well, thank
Again,
you.
Just watching you do what you do and still doing it
Do you have a
today.
picture of your last build?
Where's my phone? 2020 Silverado Trail loss. That's 2007 Silverado. This is in the middle of a pre-runner project.
Yep.
There's the L1.
Oh, cool. I'll show you the one I got. And this is a charity car also.
Okay.
It's going to Mecum auction in January, and all proceeds are going to the Gary Sinise Foundation.
Okay.
So that one gets auctioned, and that's Gary Sinise's private personal car that we just finished. And we gave it to him as a surprise November 1st.
Okay.
And then we gave it to him and said, sorry, Gary, but we're going to load it back on a truck and take it to Sema. But we did the whole build in 6 weeks.
That's amazing. I do have one question for you.
Yes.
All the cars you've worked on throughout the years, it's the hardest question you've ever had. What's been your favorite build that you've been a part of?
All the cars, the favorite build that I've been a part of was Wes Rydell's Grandmaster.
Okay.
Because of all the people that were involved. But the car that has meant the most to me was Ken Reister's Impression that we built.
Wow.
Two cars that you've probably never seen.
Less about the vehicle, more about the story.
It's
and
the people.
involved.
Yeah. We didn't start with a car. Started with a sketch. Then I built a clay model. Then I built a wooden buck, and we hand built the body. We built the frame, all the suspension. Cool.
Great, Chip.
Pleasure to meet you.
Thank you so much for
All right.
having me.
Enjoy SEMA.
Appreciate you.
Cool.
Thank you, Chip.
All right. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Needless to say, I totally blacked out during that conversation. I'm just glad my dad recorded it so I could go back and see what the heck was actually said. So, what a dream meeting Chip Foose. Let's check out these top 5 Chevys.
Guys, we're here at the Real Truck booth with Mr. Todd Henderson. So
How's it going?
We're gonna do vlog style here. It's
Okay.
gonna be very low key, long and short. If you have purchased anything from Real Truck and not read the instructions like me, he's the guy you watch in the videos and kind of follow along. So
No judgment. Basically, my technical term is brand ambassador. We'll install videos, we do features and benefits videos so you know what you're going to get with the product you're buying.
So basically what I do, just professionally.
I want to be like you.
The right way.
Right? Sometimes they pay me.
We're gonna come back to that K5 Blazer because it's epic, but since you guys are all GM guys, this mid-size truck, Colorado Canyon, is one of my favorite new trucks on the market. We got the Multimatics here in the back. This is the AT4X, same as the ZR2.
We've got a bunch of stuff on here. The Revolver X4 TS. So this is a hardcover. TS just means it's T-slot, right? So if I peel this back, this is a slot that you have T-bolts slide in there, allow you to mount stuff like this right here. This is the elevate rack. Make use of the space above your bed and not just what's inside of your bed.
Now I did see over there T-slot accessory that has a couple lights on top, kind of the old-fashioned, looks like a roll bar with the big old lights at top to top. We're gonna be getting one of those for the Silverado eventually, but that's one of the capabilities of the T-slots, and actually the Retrax EQ we have on the Silverado, same thing, so more coming there. And then this step, is this an amp step?
Yeah, there's the bed step 2.
My dad wants one of these. You keep playing with them. So very cool. We looked at this yesterday. We know Chip Foose figured out a way to integrate it into that front bumper of the F-150 that he built.
There's a number of things, a lot of innovation in this particular product. So number one, that control box can be put anywhere you want. You can actually hide this up underneath the bumper, run that control box wherever you want. Something that's cool about this, windshield is very dangerous if you don't do it right. And this is a synthetic line. Lighter is safer, hole strength is stronger than the same diameter steel. What this light is it gives you a green to yellow to red to tell you how much load is on there. So this is a cover that goes right over top of the winch. Run it out, pull it out, attach your hook. When you're ready to let it stow, then this just snaps right over top.
This doesn't weigh a ton either, from my understanding.
No, it doesn't. Mainly because it's just that synthetic line. I mean, you save so much weight. I am definitely pro synthetic line.
All right, so one last thing we're gonna take a look at is this K5 Blazer. Now, for some reason, K5 Blazers are massive at SEMA 2024. They're all over the place. One of my favorites here is this one, because not only does it look good, it's very functional, as you can clearly see.
So this is built in honor of Building Homes for Heroes, so I want to give a call out to those guys. They do an awesome job taking care of our vets. If you don't know about them, check them out, please. So we got fender flares, do a great job of keeping all the gunk off the side of the truck. This is all customized stuff, so we don't have necessarily every single bolt-on part, but down here we got amp stops, right? So I can open this up.
So we got electric running boards, or amp steps, on a, call it 40-year-old truck.
Right.
That's amazing.
So this is from our Go Rhino collection. We've got this attached to a MOLLE panel back here, so I can basically take, twist, and lift that off. But yeah, we got a real high quality case. It's a poly case. Bring that back together, twist. You can throw a padlock through there. They're actually also working on a key lock solution. This is an expanded version of our wingmate bumper, right? So this is actually designed for the Jeep Gladiator, modified so you can actually put a winch in the back. We got the Real Truck Go tent up top.
One of my favorite trucks, and it's outfitted with a lot of really cool, realistic parts, because at the end of the day, we're at SEMA. SEMA is like the World Cup and Super Bowl for automotive customizers. So there's a lot of crazy builds here. One of my favorite things about Real Truck is they're real. So the real everyday person, these are things that they can actually put on a truck and drive it every single day. The majority of vehicles in here can't make it 5 miles down the street. Todd, I know you're busy, man. He gave us a few minutes today to talk to us about some of these products. So thank you, Todd. Check out Todd's Truck Life. I'll put it right here and in the description below, guys. So thank you again. Appreciate you, man.
Absolutely.
Have a good one.
So as the top manufacturer and digital hub for truck and off-road enthusiasts, there are so many different ways that you can bring your truck to life with Real Truck. Bed covers, racks, lifts, wheels, tires, winches, you name it. Real Truck provides a pathway for truck owners to make their truck unique to fit their lifestyle. I can't thank them enough for allowing me to join them here in Vegas and make it possible to share this experience with you guys. When you're ready to bring your truck to life, go show them some love and head over to realtruck.com. Number 4 has us heading back to the HP Tuners booth because just on the other side of that 71 Camaro we saw earlier is one of the sickest Chevelles ever created. This is a 1966 Chevrolet Chevelle built by Tony Arme, really hope I'm saying that right, of American Legends Hot Rods, on top of this being a work of art. It's also running the all-new HP Tuners Core ECU, powered by a twin turbocharged LSX 376, custom dual throttle body intake, built transmission, Ford 9-inch rear end, sitting on Ridetech suspension, Willwood brakes, and AG wheels, 19 inches in the front, 20x11s out the rear. It'd take all day to list all the styling customizations and custom parts that were 3D printed for this project. An absolute masterpiece. Now, as we crack into the top 3, I was incredibly excited to finally be able to see one of these trucks in person. It's the 2024 Chevy Silverado Fox Factory Edition. The truck Chevy won't actually make. It flexes a Whipple supercharged 6.2-liter V8, making over 700 horsepower through a 10L80 10-speed transmission, but that's just the start of this machine because the real work is done up underneath. It's suspended by absurdly capable Fox 3.2 live valve shocks and long travel suspension by Baja kits. It's rolling on 37-inch BFGs wrapped around custom method bead grip forged wheels that are 17 by 8.5. 2-speed transfer case, AAM limited slip front axle, and Dana 60 semi-float rear end. It's got 373 gears and a track width that is 6 inches wider than a factory Silverado. I can go on and on about this truck. This is the truck that we all wish Chevy would build. And after chatting with a few folks at the booth, if you were to essentially purchase all the components to build your own, you're looking north of $40,000. However, that's much less than the $200,000 price tag that these Fox Factory Silverados demand. But apparently, it's all bolt-on. Wild.
Check out this influencer in the wild. This is my boomer specialist over here, capturing some content.
Getting Dad all set up with the social media content capture. Should Sarge start his own? Would you guys follow his Instagram? All his epic shots from SEMA this year. Regardless, guys, here at the Optima Ultimate Streetcar Challenge, all the cars here could be easily in the top 10.
And in front of me is another Fox Factory 6.2-liter supercharged V8. This thing is not a show truck. It could be, but it's covered in dirt, scratches, mud. They've got branches still in the front grille. This is such a unique and cool truck. Now, body lines, how this is lining up and everything, room for improvement for sure. I love how they pulled this fender out, the additional ventilation. The front fascia of the truck and the headlamp location doesn't change. So in order to kind of fill that gap, this big bulky body line, love the supercharged badge, and why not? GFC Pro topper on top. Number 2 takes us back into Central Hall with a name that most of y'all will recognize, the Ring Brothers. May I introduce you to Tuca, the vehicle that used to be a 1972 K5 Blazer but has been transformed into something magnificent. The perfect mix of classic nostalgia, modern tech, and perfect proportions, powered by none other than an LS3 V8 from GM Performance, putting down 525 horsepower through a Bowler 4L60E 4x4 transmission. The closer you look, you start to see that the Ring Brothers touched every part of this Blazer. Flush-mounted windshield, total chaos control arms, and off-road design leafs. You may notice that this also has an independent front suspension. That's because these guys realized the front track width of a Toyota Tacoma from 2016 was nearly identical. So why not pull that tech into a 52-year-old truck? And it sits perfect. Not too high, not too low, not too wide, but just right. Rolling on one-off custom HRE wheels and 325/60/18 Nitto Recon grapplers. The proportions are something that will break the necks of auto enthusiasts in the wild, but is something you could drive every day with a smile on your face. Hats off to the Ring Brothers. I'm not a fan of a soft top, but this is the only one I like. They've even taken time to pull in those markers, flush them up against the body, and obviously the Ring Brothers logo there embossed in a Chevrolet logo. And another detail is
the LED lights integrated into the front grille.
So Ring Brothers, K5 Blazer, man, that's top 3 for sure.
Here we go! The #1 Chevy build that just about broke Sema. Now, if you're a new shop and want to make a name for yourself, this is how you do it, because this is the Sema build that had Chevy purists rolling over in their graves. Equipped with a nearly 3,000 horsepower capable twin turbo 540 cubic inch big block is Blazin' Rod's 1970 Chevelle, dubbed-named Doughboy. However, there's very little left of that 70 Chevelle they started with. It's a highly modified Art Morrison chassis with C7 Corvette suspension geometry, rolling on Michelin Sport Cup 2 tires sized at 325 in the front and 345s out the rear. It's been assembled with 35 custom CNC and 3D printed parts that were designed and manufactured all in-house. It's as if a Chevelle and an Indy car had a baby, but it was raised by the cool uncle, hence the 2,800 horsepower big block power plant. It attracted such a crazy crowd that they actually allowed me to come in early before the show started to talk with some of the builders. What a time. I'm a fairly informal guy, but I'll say hi. Good to meet you guys. Chad.
Nice to meet you,
Nice
Chad.
to meet you. Chad.
There's 2 Chads.
Yeah, so it's a great name, so 2 Chads are better than
The
one.
best name there ever was.
That old man over there holding that phone, he had a 1970 Chevelle growing up.
Nice.
And it was one of those situations where he had to sell it to feed us, which we're grateful for, but still to this day, we all kick ourselves that he sold that car.
Right.
So naturally, as I walked into this booth, I was dumbfounded yesterday. I'm so happy today that I get a chance to talk to you guys, because you guys were swarmed during the show yesterday, and rightfully so. So tell me a little bit about this build and what possessed you to think about building this thing.
We're still possessed by this car. It's honestly ruined our lives a little bit, but we kind of just set out to build something as wild as possible. We wanted to be really different, and we want to build cars that are completely just wild, just to showcase our work and what we're able to do.
I think wild is the right word for this.
There's a lot that it takes to support power like this, and the car will certainly make it.
That whole downpipe section right there is all 3D printed stainless steel. Same exhaust tip is. The center is actually just a sheet metal laser broke piece. Laser cut CNC broke piece. That purple clamp right there, it's kind of a Wiggins style clamp. That was the theme of the cars. We 3D scanned one and reverse engineered it and 3D printed our own clamp out of titanium.
Every single piece of this car has been touched.
Yes.
A lot. What is your favorite part of it? What made you the most excited about this
The
project?
back of the car. The diffuser on the car also doubles as the fuel tank in the car.
Oh.
So if you get low and you really look at it, it's all billet 5-axis machine part. It's pretty nuts. So it holds 29 gallons. It's hollow. Which I feel like a lot of people don't see because the car's really low to the ground. You really have to get down to look at it, but I don't know how we pulled that one off, but it worked. Take everything and just turn it all the way up.
For me, I think it's the side exhaust. So like this is all 3D printed right here. So this downpipe, this transition, this wastegate dump is all printed. Now what's crazy is obviously turbos around. This exhaust is rectangle, and if you were to fabricate that by hand, you'd be spending months on just this one piece. If you look at any like GT cars, LMP cars, they all have this like center hole, and so like that was kind of the goal with this.
Cars that have that are a full monocoque car, it's always like some Indy style car. This car obviously has a massive firewall from the factory, so making that whole dive become real and actually work with the door opening, I would say probably one of the toughest parts on the car.
Well, awesome, guys. So thank you so much for your time this morning. I know it's been
a privilege to come out here, talk to the builders, talk to the people that actually created this thing. So great to meet you both, and heck of a job.
Thank you.
We're walking out of day 3 SEMA. I'm going to challenge my dad. Top 3 builds, just 3. Go.
I think my first one's got to be the Chevelle that they did the redo on it, the complete reconstruction. And then I've got to go with the old 70s body style, the black one.
Oh, Ring Brothers.
Yeah, the Ring Brothers. That one, I mean, that's a close first place, but that would be my second. My third's gonna have to go old school, the 71 4-door 4x4.
Oh, the one outside.
Yes, that one. That's old school. You can go anywhere with it. That's my top 3.
ADHD. I'm not opposed to any of those.
Because I'm a truck guy.
Okay. Fair enough, guys. It's been another great year. Finishing it off where we started just a year ago. Real truck booth, guys. SEMA 2024 has blown last year out of the water. And it continues to blow my mind because no matter what strategy I come into SEMA with to shoot content for you guys, to create a storyline for you guys to follow along,
it goes out the window on day one. There's so many cool builds that is honestly ADHD car guy heaven. If you have not been to Sema, figure out a way to make it happen. It is such a cool experience to be here, to see this many builds come together, this many enthusiasts here in one spot. Thank you again to Real Trick for inviting me out and sponsoring this video. Until next time, guys, as always, y'all take care. Ahui ho. Aloha.